So how do you define love? Alright, so what's the greatest lesson you learned from this relationship? Describe your feeling about Yo, welcome to the Raw Dog Show. I'm your host, Mr. Armando Cervantes. Girl, you know that you want this and I can tell by the way you flaunt it. And today, we talk about love. Each episode, we feature an up-and-coming song on love and an always special guest host sharing their unique perspective on love, sex, and relationships. Today we have a very, very special edition of the Raw Dog Show. We have the Zodiac Killaz in the house. Woo-hoo. We have...
I'm Capricorn, I'm 26 and I'm single.
Sagittarius, 26 and single.
Aquarius, 26, single.
Taurus, 26, single.
Gemini, 28, hoeing.
Yeah. Right. Ooh, single. Alright, well, great to have all five of you guys here. I'm excited to learn from both your experiences and pass down wisdom.
Thank you, dude.
I will ask you 3 questions today. One on love, one on relationships, and one on sex.
That's right.
So without further ado, let's go and rock. How do you define love?
Oof.
Sagittarius.
Why do you look at me? All right,
You
well.
look like you want to answer.
And because you've been in love. Maybe.
You've been
What
in love.
is
I'm
love?
sure.
Baby, don't hurt me. Yeah, I had to. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's fine.
What is... Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just... It kind of takes part in all your senses as far as, like, when you see that person, you have a euphoria of the world is right. Everything else kind of stops. When you have a certain sweater of theirs, I'm a girl, I'll jack your hoodie straight up, yeah. So if I have your hoodie and I smell it while I'm driving home, oh my God, I can't wait to see you when I get home. It's a different thing. And it's like, to me, it's like all those things fall into, God damn, I love you so much.
So what
Everything.
activates like that chemistry that even the scent
Building
makes...
memories, probably. I think
So-
there's certain reactions. Because obviously, if you have like a fucking cologne that's just overwhelming, if you bathe yourself in that un baño ruso, just, okay, no. Or cheap ass, like, straight up take a shower and Axe, chill the fuck out. But it's like a certain man's naturalesque musk. Oh, I melt for that. Like, that's perfect.
So
that's perfect.
is it that mixed with the cologne? Like, what if it's like a good natural musk
It's
mixed
just
with cheap
that
ass cologne?
associated with a certain memory for me.
Memories play a big part in
Your experiences.
and
I think
being in love
so.
with somebody, because the way you're feeling at a moment, that can only happen if you're
Exactly.
thinking about previous times. Like that can only happen at that point.
Really quick, Gemini here. So I think being in love is really when you start thinking with your heart over your brain.
Ooh.
When your heart starts dictating
Ah.
your decisions, and now they're not necessarily reasonable, but because you feel a certain way, I think that's when you know you're in love. When you're doing something that maybe you wouldn't typically agree
Make
or
a
you wouldn't think is
sacrifice.
right, when you start making those exceptions and you're thinking with your heart instead of your brain,
that's
you are in
good.
love. And I think that's what
Like you make a new logic
being
for
in
yourself.
correct. You start making exceptions. You start saying, well, because you feel this certain way, it's okay.
Or because you take that person into consideration. For, like, whatever you do.
So when you with emotion
Yeah.
and
So emotion
thinking
takes
with your
over
heart,
logic.
correct.
And
Logic.
Gemini, do you feel that like in those moments where you're like acting a little out of context because you're in love, is that the real you versus the other you who's thinking?
It
a little
is.
more
It's the
logically?
real you
like
who
the
is
real
in
animal
love.
self. Like this is the primal me.
Absolutely.
Like, this is what I want.
It's not the things that you've learned and the things that you've read in a book. It's the things that you're now feeling, and it's now your true nature, and whatever is activated within you with that feeling, with now being in love. You're starting to change things that maybe you thought, right? Textbook.
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of thinking textbook, you're thinking with your heart, and you're thinking with whatever experiences you've had and whatever emotions you're currently feeling to make your decisions.
You're creating your own definition in that sense, because love is a feeling, so we're creating a definition for the feeling of love. So what about when someone is in love with someone that's totally wrong for them logically, and it's affecting who they are as a person? Like,
you make exceptions. You're making exceptions.
That's still love, though, isn't it? Right?
It is.
That goes to what you were saying, right?
So
what about, is that
I feel I'm currently in that position. I said I was single, but let's just say I came out of being in a relationship, going to straight up exclusively being with someone, and now it's just like, am I doing it to be nice and not kind of kick him to the curb? What
made you want to go back with this person? The memories, like the cologne. Is it like he's activating? No, like is he activating?
I mean, Dick was great. Dick has been great. Dick is currently great. I mean, we're still talking. I'm still very
stimulation.
Yeah. I mean, it's a learning experience within each other, but I just think if this was the first time that I let myself be someone's friend and then their girlfriend, rather than it's like all about lust. No, because this person is younger than me, it was a different approach. I've never been with anyone younger than me. And
how much younger than you?
22.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Aquarius, do you have anything to add?
Honestly, trust to me is the biggest thing. Probably one of the biggest things. Being in a relationship, you know.
So you're saying like the feeling of love, just it needs to have the foundation of trust to even be in question.
Yeah, exactly. Because, for example, if I trust you and I ask you to do something, I know you can follow through with it.
So just being reliable. The basis of trust.
Yeah.
All right, Taurus, anything you want to add to that on the definition of love?
I don't even know how to begin defining love. I've never been in love, to be honest with you. I've been in lust. I've really liked an individual before.
So what's lust? What is it like to be
in
love?
What's the closest thing you've felt to love?
How do you know you haven't found love?
How do you know it was lust?
What if
love?
the lust was actually love?
But the way you guys describe it, it's just, I've never been like, anything you do is always right. Like, I've never felt that feeling.
What if you're feeling in love even in the future is going to be lust? Like, what you think now is lust, how do you know that's not love? What if your way of feeling love is different than my way of feeling love?
Exactly,
that's right.
That's very true.
Like, what if that's what love really is? Because love is a feeling. We can't really describe it.
What if love to you is just fucking stimulation?
You need that.
What if it is?
Then you need to fucking check yourself. If that's all it is, you need to check yourself.
No, I don't know. The way that some people describe it, I've never felt that. Like for example, the one you said, right? If they do something wrong at the end of the day, it's still okay. Like, you start to make excuses and things like that. I'll still call bullshit. Like, you know my situation, with my past relationships and things like that. Some of you guys know in the room. Mm-hmm. And even then, like, it just felt more like a lust situation, because I think at one point or another, I think I wanted the idea of what he could be more than what he was. And so therefore, I don't think I was in love with him. Perhaps I think I was in love with the idea of being in love. Yeah. So to be honest with you, I don't know. I just can't define love because I've never been in that position.
Okay, well, I will move on to the next question.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to add to the love definition? No.
Love sucks. That's it.
Okay.
That's why I'm single.
Baby. All right. So what is the greatest lesson you've learned from a past relationship? So basically, what have you learned from past relationships that have given you your definition of love today?
Honestly, communication.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like, and I think that just happens like the older you get, just because like you trust yourself more, you trust the other person more, and like you're just older, you're more mature, and like you can handle
a lot less information is
you can handle like other people's reactions, right? Because you're like either a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, and like I feel.
But when you
like
become that grown ass man, grown ass woman. But what makes you a grown ass man, grown ass woman?
I mean,
experience and wisdom, maybe.
Experience, like all your experience. I mean, of course, also your age. But
like, what experiences do you have to have in your past relationships to give you this? Like, oh, I need better communication.
There was a lack of communication. When there was a lot of misunderstanding.
But example of that.
I can't think one like from the top of my head, but just the fact that like a lot of like there's just a lot of misunderstanding in like relationships that could have been cleared up if like if people just like all you had to do was just sit down and just talk shit out, you know, and that's something that that I feel like a lot of relationships lack, and it's kind of like a very obvious thing.
Well, that kind of ties into trust, you know.
A lot of people don't like to fight. And
That's true.
Confrontation.
It's
Aquariuses don't like to
fear.
That's a
fight.
sad thing.
Yeah,
also,
they're
like,
like stupid.
but if you think that you're gonna like, if you think that communication is gonna lead into a fight, then like, is that like really? Is that?
Dude, but some people are just
No,
in
it's
fear
not.
of like any form of
Logically,
confrontation.
Yeah.
no, but
Like
ego
Aquariuses.
triumphs.
Like they might.
Straight
Some people
up.
are in relationships out
Straight
of fear.
up.
You know, some people have been in relationships where the guy's super bad for them, you know, verbally or physically abusive, but that's what they're used to because they don't know what love really is, so they think they have to hang on to this. And now they're scared to confront this person. So how are they supposed to get out of this?
We're talking about abusive relationships now. That's a different story. That's a whole different topic.
All right, well, let's get into it.
I've never been in
let's go on Raw.
Well,
Been there, done that.
For one,
over it.
I hate the abusiveness only because like I saw
recognize
that,
it
like
when
I
it's late?
seen that as a child, like from my dad
shit.
to my mom, like that
No
to
way.
me is not right, you know, like just seeing that in or you know, I was a little kid, but as a little kid that traumatized the shit out of you, you know, and like seeing that is not, I know that's not right, you know.
Like a man's greatest strength over a woman is the physical aspect. Like men are just
Physical
naturally
strength.
stronger than women. So whenever a man finally gets to the point where he's domestically abusing women, it's because that's the only power he has over the woman. Like he has no
Yeah.
logical power, he has no emotional.
that makes
That's
sense.
all he could do is just be
Yeah.
a fucking
Stronger.
He's
yeah,
just
stronger. That's the
stronger.
only way he's
True.
gonna take
To be
control.
Senseless.
And that's I mean the way I look at it is like men that resort to that are the weakest type of men because they have no human logic to rationalize it or
Yeah, my high
mind
school
control.
sweetheart was the first domestic like relationship that was like the most abusive, and it got physically abusive. Before I didn't even recognize like the verbal abuse, but for some reason I kind of stuck around towards the end. He kind of pulled the suicidal card, whatever.
Is that what made you stick around? The fact that he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me."
Oh, for sure. And then he would make scenes at my house like at 3 a.m. And mind you, I was like maybe like 14 years old.
what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He
Was it your second? What number relationship was that?
That was like my first love, my first like
Fuck,
coming
dude.
out of it was crazy. It was high school, my sophomore year, and he pretty much, I remember he was telling me he was talking through about it, but it was more like talking to a murderer. He said that my use of vocabulary was what triggered him to hit me.
What
He
the
said that he
fuck?
felt confused and undermined. No, obviously he didn't use that word.
'Cause he was
fucking
stupid?
retard. And yeah, but he
See, but no, but that even
he
goes back
kicked
because
my ass.
shit.
See,
All right.
that's a whack situation to be in.
Yeah.
As far as like, you know, being stuck, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I've played that card before. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill myself if you don't fucking get back with me.
Same.
I played that card before.
Wait, can I ask why?
Pero fue por a shot.
Why? It fucking hurts. Like,
Mátate.
all right, she broke up with me.
It's almost like a
right.
jovial thing. Like
Yeah, like she broke up with me and it fucking hurt. And it's just like, holy shit, like how do I cope with this? You know? And at that point you're
So
just
you give them an ultimatum: either you get back with me or I kill
as
myself.
a third party perspective that I saw this happen, he was doing well, and it caught me off guard. I was like,
it didn't seem like
oh
I
boy,
was like-
we're in for a rough next year.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
But how did it end? Like in that situation, like did
Obviously, you didn't
I
kill
mean,
yourself.
obviously, obviously, I'm still here.
Hey, you guys.
I jumped off and
Did
I
she
came
like
back.
talk
So
you
you're
out
back
of
together
it?
now.
Did you like rationalize
So you're back
it
together
yourself?
now.
No,
Right,
of
are you
course
back
not.
together
Of
now?
course not. Of course not. Of course I'm.
Like you're
I'm
married.
back
You
to-
married her now. She's the mother of your children.
She's the mother of my children. We have 4
Kids
healthy
happily
kids.
married. We are glad she didn't let you kill yourself. Little dad of the year.
At that point, like you got to look at yourself and say, is this worth it, or do you just move on?
Or is it even
Like,
a
do I
healthy
kill myself or not? Is that the question?
Yeah. At that point, you say, am I really gonna do this, or is this just a game?
Yeah, what made you
An
finally
empty
move
thread?
on?
What
What
do you
made you
mean?
move on? Like when you were
What made me
finally
finally move on?
Yeah.
Was just
to be that deep into someone. How can
Like-
you move on from that?
man, just
Weed.
I'm a hardcore stoner afterwards.
No, not even that.
Roll fat
A
out.
lot of people
It helps,
think
it
a
helps.
bounce back is the way to go. And
That's why
nah,
inches deep in someone else.
It wasn't, that wasn't the case.
Un
It
clavo
was
saca
just-
otro clavo.
What is it? The best way to get over
Oh.
someone is to get under someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but
That's
that's literally like the three main points.
Nah, it was just, looking within myself and just saying, hey, this isn't the end. You're still, at the time I was fucking 16 years old.
Yeah, like what made you move on? Because dude, there's
So,
people
it's
that
like-
are listening to this that are
Yeah.
in a
So-
similar situation where they're breaking up with their girlfriend and
Literally,
they can't get over it.
Yeah.
He and I were in love at the same time with people in the same grade older than us.
They were, I was,
Oh, you and Aquarius?
Yeah, it was like a set of maybe like 4 couples, and all the girls had like consecutive quinceañeras. So everyone came out with their couple, and every quinceañera, like it was.
no. The embarrassing part for me was that I came out as the
Chambelán de honor?
Chambelán de honor
The main dude.
with my my ex-girlfriend, yeah. So like,
Because you had already devoted him.
because I already had said yes.
You already paid for the
I already
tuxedo.
I paid for the tuxedo.
Oh, after the fact that she had
and
broken up with
everything.
you?
Yeah, at that point it was just
And
like,
not taking you back.
Wow, that's
God
like low
damn.
key, just like adding salt to a wound.
Yeah,
That's
like-
fucked up.
like,
That's fucked up.
how could I not want to kill myself at that point?
That's, That's
It's
fucking
brutal.
hard. Yeah,
It's
that's
brutal.
hard. That's hardcore
You
shit,
know?
man.
Okay, and I'm not gonna say I was okay.
That's
all right,
funny. It just,
I thought I was doing the right thing, but I'm not gonna say I was perfect either. Yeah, there was issues, and there was things that had to be worked out.
But you would look at it like, I'm still holding on to this. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
work better for this.
Yeah,
Versus,
yeah,
like, she's like,
exactly.
I don't want to work hard. Snip.
That's it. And you got to think to yourself, there's gonna be other chances,
You had to finally grow up and...
Yeah. But
not like this though.
at the same time, like, I think I'm a hopeless romantic, to say I'm gonna marry my high school sweetheart. Yeah,
That's what always gets you. The first love always gets you a little harder.
Yeah, it was our
'cause
first
It's the
love.
first time experiencing that sort of emotion.
That same quinceañera, I was still with that same high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
He like physically attacked me in the hallway. That girl's quinceañera was at the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
So we were going through a practice, and there was guests on board the boat, and they just saw him like kind of harass me, and I was screaming for help, and they kind of gave me like a starry eye and went about their way, and I was just like, wow, dude, like I'm a fucking 14-year-old girl screaming for help, and no.
But was your cry for
Whoa,
help
man.
actually a cry for help?
Yeah, I was like being dragged downstairs.
And did you stay in that
Fucking
relationship after? I'm just
No,
curious.
hell no.
Okay,
no.
see, that's how I was
It
wondering.
was just more so I felt like it's gonna be my fault if he kills himself. But then it was just like, it was my first relationship, my first love.
That's where you learn all the bullshit.
Obviously now it's like I look at me and just, oh, pathetic little girl. Little did we know. Bitch, you're about to rule the world, but just let it all fall into place. And that was just one of the steps that had to happen, and unfortunately
It makes you who you are today.
Everything gets better.
Definitely.
All right, Taurus, anything you want to add on any great lessons you've learned from past relationships?
Yes. After much thought, for sure, for me, it has to be the whole give and take in my past relationship. And I wouldn't even call it a relationship, but I just gave too much, and I never expected anything out of that.
What were you
and I think
giving
that's
too
in
much
all of
of?
them.
What were you giving too much of?
My time, energy, I would be the one communicating more than he would. Like, it was just a lot of instances in general where I just gave way
Money?
too much. That too.
But at what point did it hit you like, shit, I'm giving way too much of this? Like,
I think it wasn't until I had
clicked for you?
a conversation with Gemini, and she kind of just called me out on my BS.
Hey, Gemini, what
Good job,
did you say to
Gemini. Good
Taurus?
job.
Yeah.
I just felt that sometimes people are selfless and they're not really getting anything out of in return, and getting something out of a relationship in return doesn't have to be financial, but it could be attention, it could be love, it could be just
Affection.
anything. It could be
Attention to
anything.
detail of anything.
And when you're putting in 90%, when you're the foundation of the relationship and you're also the one who's making it work, it's not fair and it's not right. If they're not reciprocating anything, then that's not a relationship. That's just somebody taking from you. I call her I call them
parasite.
leeches. It's just
Yeah,
a leech. They're
seriously.
leeching
I
your
agree.
love. They're leeching your affection.
Until they feel okay.
You're keeping them going, but they're just sucking you out until when?
So you're
To
dry.
win until you're dry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Emotionally, financially.
And it's sad because you never really realize until you're so deep into it that you're like, damn, this person's
To
really
me, it
just
was
draining me.
to me it was just like the part where he introduced me to his family. Like I met his family and stuff like that, and he would make comments like, "Oh, this is the girl I'm gonna marry," you know. And it was just like a complete mindfuck because to me it's like, okay, like, could I let myself really fall in love? You know, like, okay, I really like you. I'm not in love with you yet, but I feel like I'm getting to that point. And so when you start to see the person for whom they truly are, and you're just the person giving, and they're just taking, and there's not so much reciprocity, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
Then I think that's where the mindfuck became, and then that's where it sucks. And then now it just sucks a little bit even more when you kind of have to see them all the time, anyways.
Seriously. Yeah, that's the worst.
I know who that nigga is.
Fuck that guy. All right, so let's move on to something a little more lighthearted. Let's get a little deep right now.
Oh.
Describe the feeling of an orgasm. There's no Scorpios in the house because I know those are the most sexual.
Oh, that's what you think. Yeah.
Enlighten us, Sagittarius, enlighten us.
Alright,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
bitch.
Sorry, but you're mistaken. Wait.
Oh.
It's like this feeling that like travels from your clit all the way
Yes.
to like your belly, and it's just like a warmth that like goes into your entire body.
Like a sporadic.
Yeah, and it's just
Is it
like a burst of like energy sort of a
burst.
situation.
Like in the movies in the hospitals that they go with the fucking shockers.
Nobody's dying, so
on your clit. On your clit.
That's kind of after when you're done. It's like
still pulsing kind of
the
situation.
similar thing to
the
like
release, the
you guys
release.
can relate. It's like the girl still sucking your dick. Oh.
You know, biologically, like the clit is like a little ass penis.
It's a
And-
bean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like what the
it's
what the
miniature
penis is.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
So it's
It's
like
a little head.
if you're getting, I don't know,
Please.
it might be weird, but if you're getting your clit licked, it's
Yeah.
like getting a blowjob. Like that's
Technically,
the equivalent
yeah.
of like that kind of, but it's like in a clitoris, it's like super small, super jam packed. So I'm sure that's why the explosion of an orgasm feels a lot better for
Oh, it is.
women.
Can we talk about the fact that like this is one of the best things I think about women, that we can
What?
orgasm multiple times?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. So how does that happen? Is it
Multiple
like, does it like
ways.
It's you're able to
does it
stimulate.
peak
There's-
and go down
Yeah.
and then repeat?
It peaks and then you go back
It
to normal.
depends.
Yeah, but you don't
After
get
one time, I'm
soft.
trying to go
The
to sleep.
thing,
Please.
I think
Are
the
you
thing is you don't go
serious?
soft.
Hell
Your
yeah.
clit doesn't go soft.
With the partner.
Let's ask the women. Let's ask Sagittarius, Taurus, and Gemini. The most you've peaked in one session.
Yeah.
My record to this day is 7.
7 in one
7,
session?
yeah,
And
7,
so in
seven.
what's the
Nice.
time range you're having in this?
Time range, it was from like 8 a.m. to 2:45 because I ditched high school
Damn,
to go home.
Wait, but that's
to-
that's multiple sessions.
That's multiple sessions.
No,
Not in one
no,
go.
we were in bed the whole time. I
Okay.
didn't get out of bed.
Well,
No,
that-
but
that-
that's not like
that would count as a session. That's a session.
That's one session?
No, we
8 hours?
We,
of-
8 hours is not
I
a
guess
session.
no.
But
I
a
guess
sex
it depends.
session
Like,
is
what-
happening on the bed.
I guess it
It
depends
was
what's
being
like the
inside.
break between
Yeah.
like, every time you have
Penetration.
sex.
Penetration.
it was
How
5
long did
hours.
you wait?
Yeah, how long do you need a break
Yeah.
between orgasms?
Like if you
I
wait
don't feel
like
like we
3
don't
hours,
really
like
need
if you go and grab lunch and then you wait like an hour, that's like your session is
But
done.
I think even
you
if
know?
you're in bed, it doesn't
But like
matter.
if you're in bed
you
and you
take a
wait
nap,
like 15 minutes
Yeah.
or 20 minutes and
I
then you
think
go
it
at it
was
again,
like
that continues the session.
No, we went for like 4 hours nonstop, and it was like 7 times.
4 hours
Okay.
nonstop
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah, it was
Jesus
That's good.
Christ,
That's
I'd be
good.
so sore.
I was.
That's good.
It was
I was.
amazing.
Don't you see the smile on her
That's
face?
great.
That I didn't know you could become sore. That's why I was so young. I was just like, whoa, shit. The next day I felt like I was on a horse for 4 hours. Yes.
That's right. That's right. That's
Equestrian lever. Yeah, but no,
Equestrian
lever.
yeah, but yeah, seven times.
Okay.
All right, what about
Taurus.
Taurus?
For me, it was 4 times in a span of 2 hours.
Dang.
I mean, I would say about 2 hours or so.
That's lengthy. That's good. That's chunky. That's.
Yeah,
Yes, he
no, for
was.
me it was like 5 times in like an hour and a half.
Oh,
Shit.
wow.
Madre.
You little fucking rabbit.
She
okay.
said 15-minute time spans. Like,
Okay. So what do you think?
Yes.
What do you think is the secret to bouncing back so quickly? Or
don't
is that just a
know.
woman thing? You just naturally bounce
Getting
back?
turned on.
Yeah, it's just getting turned on. It's
But
just-
okay,
Just
so do
switching
you
it up.
Do
Just
new
switching it
things-
up.
Yeah.
But like, do new things have to turn you on every time? Like for my last
Almost.
orgasm, it's not gonna be the same shit. that's
Yeah.
turning me on.
Yeah,
So is
they-
it like
they kinda have
is it like
to.
freakier shit?
It's
that's
like
turning you
I'm
on?
switching from reverse cowgirl to doggy style,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna come at reverse cowgirl, and then I'm gonna do it at doggy style, and then missionary is gonna make me do it too, because it's just touching a different part of it, rubbing a different way. I don't know.
True.
The energy's just kind of there.
Yeah, like my
especially when you're young. At that point, I was 20.
My point being, like,
I was 20.
I noticed it now.
My personal best with those 7 times, whatever. It was just like, okay, after the 3rd time, I was like, okay, you know, GG, good show. All right, let's go eat something.
All right, break. Let's go get some
But
burgers.
as we were getting out of bed and kind of getting dressed, it's like, fuck, seeing him get dressed and him seeing me get dressed, it's like, okay, quick BJ before we go cook. All right. And then it's just back to bed. Just I couldn't stop. I don't know.
All right,
I have a question, and then this is just it's happened to me.
There.
Right, for guys, have you guys ever made a woman squirt? And as for us girls, have you guys ever squirted?
I've never made a woman squirt.
Personally, no, I've never had.
I feel like it's.
But
I don't
also,
know.
I don't think it happens for everyone.
It is urine. It is.
Yeah, I read that it is urine or it's not urine. Like, I think it's urine. Like,
it's
urine.
Because like I feel like the girl's pushing like her urine muscles.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend who had pink eye for fucking 3 weeks because he got squirted on.
Oh my god!
And he was proud of that shit. He's like, "Oh, I fucking got pink eye." I'm like, "Dude, you got pissed on your eye."
Yeah, right?
You like a fucking golden shower.
The little gooey stuff that comes out of meat coming.
I mean,
but it's not golden.
urine
The
line.
pH bands should be fine. Why do you get pink eye? And
I don't think that's pee.
shit.
I don't think pee gives you pink eye ever. It's feces.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I've never heard of piss.
All right, so
No, it's not. He was eating ass.
So what is that?
Or you rubbed his little butthole and fucking rubbed his eye off there too. Who knows?
Wait, so have you guys ever?
I've never squirted. Gemini, I've never squirted.
Once in the shower.
Taurus?
Yeah.
You
In
squirted
the shower.
With the guy. Yeah.
Describe the squirt.
It was
She
like
needed to pee a little.
Like I just pissed everywhere. What was it?
I
I
just
think it
pissed
was
on
even
homie.
crazier than an orgasm, believe it or
Girl,
not.
yes,
It was like
shaking.
like,
I was about to tell her, how the fuck
wait a
did
fucking
you
minute,
not
like-
fall?
No, I almost ate shit, dude. I was
Had
like, hold on,
I
what the fuck?
squirt
Wait a
in the
minute.
shower, I would have fucking ate shit. Just like me muero, just Bambi
Lose
legs.
control of all
No,
your
you do.
vagina and you
Absolutely.
pee.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, but what was it? Like, what made you?
Muscle
like,
dystrophy. Just
what do you think pushed you to that level to squirt?
Bro,
Stroking. The stroking.
The
The
right
stroking.
The fact that you're standing up and you're
sorry.
so much more nimble.
Okay,
kinda.
so
It's
was it both?
uncomfortable doing it
It
in
was
the
shower
back
sex for
end
both
of
of
the
you.
shower.
I hate shower sex.
It's
horrible.
happened.
I hate shower sex too because I feel like the lube just doesn't feel
There's
like.
no.
Yeah, I don't like the
like the
I
dick
don't
in the
like
vagina.
water
The
either.
vagina just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't like it
horrible.
either.
It's terrible.
But dude, if you fucking squirted in the shower, you sure it wasn't the water spraying from the?
I
bathtub?
did.
No, trust me, you know the difference. You absolutely know the
But
difference.
she had to pee. Like, she
Yeah,
left the
right?
shower and she was like, my bladder's
Let's
empty.
pee in the shower.
I gotta pee. I gotta pee.
I'd feed in the shower. I've squirted in the shower. It was
Yeah.
just pee and I was by myself.
Like for me, like I was babysitting and the kids were napping, and it was a
Hurry up, get.
there were a solid nap. So he came over. We took a quick shower, and it was just, I guess it was more so the thrill. And I correlate both times that I felt this euphoria more so like I had to do with me standing up. When I'm standing, that physical like just like stature.
Maybe it's the angle.
Yeah, no, please.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The
Keep going. No,
angle
yeah,
too.
keep going. Keep
The
going.
angle too. Maybe it's just like a straddling cowboy. I'm just standing there and just like fucking like
Goes back to your love for horses.
Jesus Christ. You know, yeah, it's true. It's
That's
true.
why I get
But
about to fuck a horse.
I think it's just standing. It takes so much
started
like
doing that.
it takes so much strength out of me that I'm just left like so weak after I fucking climax. That it's like I'm gonna collapse on you right now.
Yes, that's the thing.
And that's
That
why
is
that's what made me
absolutely a thing.
squirt that one time.
Because
It was just
I've
like-
had
it
women
was like,
orgasm,
oh,
but
God,
their
like-
legs just go weak. Like they're
Yeah,
just go,
yeah.
But like,
I
Yeah.
died.
I'm trying to think
I
what
died.
activates a squirt.
Is there anything that
Tequila activates
The
my
muscle
squirt.
compression. It's just all that pressure building up.
But like, is it like, do you have
An
to
exertion
piss before you?
Yeah,
squirt?
I mean, not to be disgusting, but compare the buildup of just having diarrhea. But shut up. The more you hold it, the more you hold it, the more pressure that it's
So you
gonna
have
come
to
out
hold-
at
so you're
when
saying-
it comes out.
So you're saying the squirt, you have to hold in piss.
Oh, the
all
most
day.
part when I have squirted, it's been because I held it because I'm not used to fucking coming when I'm standing.
'Cause a
That's
good-
such a natural position.
That's the thing, because
Yeah,
a piss
I
feels,
could never
whenever you have a good
finish
piss, it
standing.
feels like an orgasm. So I'm like, oh, I'm fucking.
I've cried.
Like I've cried
I've
a little.
teared up when I've
I
like,
see
for
that.
Wow,
I feel that.
hold on,
I feel
crying.
bad. Yeah, I
Hold
feel,
on.
During-
What makes
during-
you cry?
During the piss?
cried after peeing or after orgasming?
No, after peeing. What they were talking
Yeah,
about.
no, dude, this is like
Like
you
regular pee?
No, like you
Or
hold,
like-
you hold it in for like such a long time, like such
That
a
you
long
pee
time,
and then you
and then
cry.
you like fucking run, and then like you let it go, and
You
it just
run?
feels so good.
So
like,
you
when you're
release.
peeing,
So
that
when
you're
you
like,
release,
pee.
you also
it's just a
release
relief.
tears.
Yes, it's a relief. Where you're just
no,
like,
but one time
You know
I
when
have
you
had
fucking shit,
orgasms
too?
where I have like
Maybe.
a little teardrop when I orgasm, but that's only a
I can't
masturbation
relate.
orgasm.
Wait, why?
Masturbation
That's just-
orgasm?
that's-
So you
that's
make
just,
yourself
like, 'cause
cry.
he's guilty
You're not
of it.
sad?
He's like,
I'm a piece of shit.
It's not out of sadness.
he's like another sock. Shit.
Hey, he's sad because you can't make
ruined.
yourself fake
He's like, I'm
orgasms.
so lonely.
Nobody loves me. Oh my god. No, but I have had a good orgasm, like where I have a little teardrop, but that has only been through a masturbation orgasm.
You know what I relate orgasms
And it was
to?
great.
And I'm sure everyone here can relate to this, is like when you're doing a research project or when you're doing like any type of like all-nighter type of shit, right? And then like you're done, you turn in the paper, you finish the final, and then you close every tab. I think that's just a good metaphor for it, because then like you're done, and you're like,
Dude, at UCLA in the library, one time I saw this Asian girl. I'm not even fucking lying, dude. She was working on her work, and she had headphones on, and she was moaning. She's like, I was like,
No
I was
way.
like, dude, I was in pure disbelief. Like, I was like, is this bitch
It was her
really
last
moaning?
sentence,
hey
bro.
man, if it gets a bitch up, it gets a bitch up. Like, let her study. Fuck.
She just fucking finished that math problem.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man.
Pythagorean theorem.
That's fucked up if you thought she was Asian and
She was Asian, dude. She was.
you think she was doing math.
Oh my god.
That's true.
I'll edit that out. Alright, well,
I think you should keep that.
Yeah.
alright, so we're gonna take a quick break. And when we
thank
get back, we're gonna answer one question off of RAWDOGShow.com. RAWDOGShow.com. RAWDOG.
I'm so not ready.
And now time for
Not ready.
a Raw Dog freestyle.
I don't even know what the fuck I said.
Yo,
Shit.
yo, Yo, I'm here with the Zodiac Killaz, talking about what we really feel, talking about how we look at the world a little different. Bitch, you my favorite planet in the solar system. Now I'm gonna pass it over to Sagittarius, where she knows how she's gonna carry us. Yo, girl, what's up? What's up? What's up? Put it in the butt.
So you think fuck? No. Really? No. Really? You're talking about butt?
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, that just.
That was fantastic.
No.
I'm sorry, but that was fantastic.
Someone jump in. Hurry, hey, this is going. This is rolling.
So you thinking about talking butt? You gonna just throw me out the car? You better come again. You better just back up because I'm about to kick you in the nuts.
Yo, what's up? Yo, wow, we got some fucking
I
Gemini.
don't fucking know.
No.
That's
Ride
it.
dog. And now we're back. This question comes off of our website, rawdogshow.com. And this question comes from Horny. Mr. or Mrs. or Mrs. Horny.
That's it. Just Mr. and Mrs. Horny.
It's just horny.
Oh, okay. So we don't know if it's a
What
Mr. or
if
Mrs.
Alright.
Just a horny man or woman.
Thank you,
More
Horny,
likely.
for the question.
Oh.
How original, but alright, let's go.
Fantastic.
This question.
Cherry.
Horny. That's cherry. That question's fucking cherry.
Very cherry.
And so Horny is asking, how do I fuck my coworker?
You don't.
That's
Seduce
hard.
her.
You don't.
How do you
That's
seduce her?
hard.
Hammer
That's
her.
hard.
Yeah, seduce.
Seduce her.
Am I really the only person that thinks that you shouldn't fuck your coworkers?
This is difficult.
What?
No,
Don't do
I
it. I've already been there.
See,
I've
Don't
done
do
that.
it.
I've
You
done that
don't
once.
shit where you eat.
Trust me, I learned my
do not
lesson. It
shit
doesn't
where
matter.
you eat.
What if your coworkers are
But
as
see,
fuck and you
we're
want?
not right now. We're not talking about should or should you not. The question is, how do I do it?
Yeah.
They already know that they want to. It's
But
not,
he's
should I?
saying
Yeah,
you
you're
shouldn't.
right.
Period.
Yeah,
like,
but
you
stop,
should or shouldn't
don't,
just.
But
stop.
they're asking how do I
Close
do
that
it?
idea.
No,
Well,
I
I'm
agree
telling
with
This
you,
is
him.
not.
fucking
This is not a
close that
morale
idea.
question.
I agree with him. You know why? Because
Yeah,
I'm in that
it's not a
position.
morale question.
I'm
You
still
guys
in
gotta
that
answer the
position.
question.
Hey,
not even a morale
one at a
question.
time. One at a time. Capricorn.
It's a
Answer the
it's a
question.
fucking HR question, man. Am I the
Some
only
of us have
professional in
fucked
the
our
room?
coworkers
Yes,
that
yes,
got
you are.
along well with
No one
us.
cares about
Yes,
his job.
yes, you are.
Oh,
In
I
fact,
care about my job.
I care about my job.
I
Sorry,
do too.
thank you, my real job, for providing for me. All right. So, what's up, Gemini? How do you fuck your coworker?
Reverse cowgirl.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Good
All right,
answer.
Aquarius.
Show
Show
the
me.
restroom at work. Fuck it. You know.
Aquarius,
well.
Aquarius. Restroom at work. Holy
Oh,
shit.
there you go.
What do you
We
mean?
have to share restrooms with the other offices, unfortunately.
We don't.
Men and women separately.
Aquarius.
I heard you're allowed to ask once,
What do you mean?
and if they said no, then beyond that is
It's
sexual
a rule of
harassment.
thumb, so just directly ask. Just
Yeah.
say no.
If-
No,
Let's
at least
hook
seduce
up.
them.
Let's hook up. I say
How do you
I
seduce
say you
them?
invite a
No,
coworker
no,
out
no,
to
no.
drinks.
How
I
do
think the
you
best way
invite
to
them out
do
to
it-
drinks? How do you invite
Hold
them
on.
out to
You
drinks?
just say,
Just
you know what? It's
ask
been
them.
a stressful
A work
day. Let's go grab a
function.
drink.
Yeah.
Just something as simple as let's go grab a
Yeah.
drink.
But what?
after
Okay, what
work.
if this coworker
Nope.
only looks at you as a coworker? How are you supposed
Well,
to
then
break
you
that?
just
Well,
say, but
that's
you have to figure that
right.
out.
Just
See,
lay it.
That's what I'm saying. You have
That's
to
where you have
ask
to
the
figure it
question.
out.
You have to bring it up.
Yeah.
You have to gauge
Just
their
be straight
interest,
up.
right?
Correct.
Yeah,
You have to gauge their interest.
I think asking someone to go out and grab drinks with you is probably the easiest way to
agree,
get
yeah.
whether or not they're going to or they would like to or they would be open to having sex with you. You just
But-
say, hey, let's go grab drinks. And if there's sexual
Kiki.
tension or if there's any flirtation, if they reciprocate the flirtation, you're solid, I think.
Okay.
That's tricky because I've done that. I've had, hey, let's just go get some drinks, and it becomes where like, oh, it was just a, oh, you're just asking me out for a drink.
And you're buying my drink
and
too,
you're
right?
not-
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst part, bro. That's the
What do
worst
you
part.
mean?
You buy it and then nothing happens.
Yeah, yeah.
You
okay, I mean,
better.
okay, and
You better.
not to say that
Split the
that.
No.
No, not to say that if I buy a girl a drink, I'm expecting her to put out.
Yes, you are. Shut up.
You're in hopes. You're in hopes that she
There
is.
you are.
But yes, like at some point, or at least I hope her to get the hint of like, oh, this guy's paying for me. He obviously wants something more than just.
Okay, so you buy my drink, I give you my pussy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I buy you my drink
Not
and
at all.
I give you good company. I
Not
fucking
at all.
Yeah.
Not
make
at
you
all.
laugh, give you great charm.
That's
Maybe
not it.
like the
Okay, well,
tip.
what about the
No,
charm that I'm
fuck
giving you
that.
at that
No,
moment?
no,
Or what about
that-
the company that I'm providing
That's not what
you?
I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
That sounds
That's
like
not
a
what I'm
high
saying.
escort.
What are you
right
saying,
there.
Mr.
The company
Win-win.
I'm providing you.
Mr. Aquaman?
What I am saying
Wait.
is that I would at least like her to figure out that I want something more than just a drink, rather than not.
You want to tricky her. We know that. That's the whole
But
point
like
of it.
no, but she's making it seem like it's. Or I'm just gonna use her for that, and then that's it.
We're giving advice
That's
to
not the
someone
point.
who wants to have sex with their coworker.
Yeah.
Don't. My advice to that is
YOLO.
ask once. If she says no, then that's it. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask
Like-
them for drinks and
Like,
dessert.
I
wouldn't
say-
it be funny if we slept together? Oh no? Oh yeah. Oh no. Fuck it.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just
I'm
yanking
just
your
saying.
chain, Helen. Get back to work.
I'm your fucking direct
Yeah.
back to
probably
fuck
the
to work.
safest
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's probably
Just
the-
jokingly.
My desk is very spacious. I wonder how I'd look
Boy.
bent over in it. Don't you wonder? Clear up some space.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Better nice. Okay, well,
Don't have sex with your coworker.
I say.
I
So look, you can have sex with
Do
them,
it
but
one time.
you gotta pursue something serious with them. Because if you're just
No.
You
Fuck
don't.
no.
You
Fuck
don't.
It's
no.
even worse if
What
it
if
is
you
serious.
want
Exactly. You don't want to
Dude,
stress
serious.
relief.
At work.
then you're that couple at work, and then it's okay.
Ew.
You shouldn't be that couple of.
Ew. That's not even a thing.
No, but look,
Stop.
think about it though. Like if you just fuck them and you like ghost them the next day. You're gonna fucking see my
can't
fucking
ghost
word.
them.
You
But
can't
what
even
if
work
you're-
with them.
but
They're
what if-
coworkers.
But what if the point is to become fuck buddies, and every time you're stressed out or you're
But how do you
working
lay
late,
that?
you
How do
say,
you lay that down?
"Hey, come on."
How do you lay that down?
Well, because every
How do you-
situation is
It's
different,
different.
though. Who knows what kind of company you work for? In my case, I have an assistant who's a female 2-3 times my age. So, I mean, every single situation is going to be different. I used to work in a corporate company where there was 100 people on my floor. It would have probably been possible. There was rooms where women go in to pump their breasts when they're milking, whatever the
shit.
hell you call that.
Lactate?
Right? So,
Yeah, that's fucking-
so
sounds
there's
robotic,
rooms that
like
are
Wall-E.
available for it. So I mean, at that point on our busy nights, I could have probably had a friend in there who I said, "Hey, let's go in the little nursing room and
But
get a
what-
little
okay.
pumping."
Sácame
But
la
now I
lechita.
can. So every
yeah.
single job is different. People work at warehouses, restaurants, this, that. So it's all situational. You could have a fuck buddy at work.
But it really is. It really is on the guy if you think about it, because the guy's the one who has
Well,
to be.
because he has to get it up, yeah.
No, but he's the one. He's the one who has to be. He's the one who has to be smooth enough to fucking.
But what if it's the
no,
women,
no,
especially
no, okay.
especially older women, even married
This-
women who are unhealthy?
Older women are
sometimes
more
initiate.
forward. Older women are more forward in what they want.
This brings
In
up,
that sense.
I think, another situation that
You've been in?
that you've implied, kind of.
Gilfs.
No, like men are the ones that are supposed to be the ones bringing this up. But what if a woman does it?
Sexism.
I know, but
guys.
it's dude. It's because the man.
What freaking
No,
The
sense
man.
are we
It's
in?
not
No, that's what I'm
sexism. Like the
saying.
man
Like-
has to take charge.
Like,
Like
no,
the
no,
man
no,
has to
no,
fucking.
that's
be the one-
Sticker.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
The
saying.
man has to
Like,
make the bold.
what if the woman is the one that initiates everything?
Yeah.
And-
what
and-
if it is?
As
But it rarely is.
yeah,
It's
as a
always
man, as a man, I would think that's very like she's up to something because she
Why?
sure
She
as
wants
hell.
to get me fired.
Yeah, she sure as hell does not want to
Okay,
sleep. with me.
okay,
Sure
Susan.
as hell
That's
doesn't
personal
sleep with me.
insecurity.
Okay,
you know?
Susan.
Okay, but can we get back to the actual question as to how? Because nobody's
No.
actually answered.
Yeah.
I agree. You shouldn't.
Do it.
You
All
shouldn't.
right. Well, if we're talking legally, don't do it, Mr. Horny.
Do
Well,
it.
But
it's
if we're
not
talking
illegal.
about
It's not
if we're talking
illegal.
about
I
real
agree.
passion,
I agree.
It is not illegal.
if you're gonna quit this job in a few
Hold
months,
on.
It's
You
not
gotta
illegal.
fucking
But
put
you put
yourself
yourself in a
in.
vulnerable position.
Yes,
Absolutely.
correct, but that doesn't make it illegal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not illegal.
And if they're lower than you at your job, don't do it.
You know what?
If they're above you, do it. You can blackmail them.
Yes.
If they're equal, fuck it one time.
There you go.
Other than that, that's
makes
the
sense.
Power
rule.
play. It's a
Yeah,
power play.
dicho y hecho. That's the rule.
It's all about power dynamics.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So, Horny, if you're a
That's
female,
it.
get on your knees, girl. Get on your knees
Yes.
with your boss. Beg.
Yes.
Do what you gotta do, girl.
dude,
I
women
said it.
are women are so
Sagittarius
seductive.
has spoken.
All right. Anyways, Sagittarius, is that all you have to say?
Oh no, I'm just saying you can give those keys.
All right. So
to
give little hints at
Pay
work.
attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Body language.
Be aware.
Yeah.
It's
Stop being so horny and fucking
Ask.
pay attention. You fucking
You don't
horny
gotta
ass
buy those
bitch.
hoes a dream.
Ask.
You know what's up.
Ask. Just fucking be bold.
Ask.
Make a move.
Yes. Don't waste nobody's time.
Stop
Be
being a little
fair to
bitch.
yourself and to them.
Unless your coworker's a little snitch bitch, you know.
Oh, that too.
You gotta,
babe.
like, read
But
the signs, you know what
You
I
don't
mean?
want to fuck that crazy bitch out.
Make sure
Exactly.
you're cool with HR, because if
Yeah.
like push comes to shove, you want the homie in HR.
I will.
Yeah, make
Hey,
sure you,
on your
hey,
side.
make sure you're cool with Toby. That's it.
Homegirl was HR.
what if
so
she
it
is
was dope.
HR?
Oh, new
Hey.
discussion. New
Then you
discussion.
just hit a.
Then
everybody.
everybody at work is gonna
Your
be
job is
happy.
safe.
You are gonna
Yeah,
lose.
that's a home run.
You
Yeah.
better hope.
HR, you hit HR, that's a home run.
Yeah,
No,
everyone.
well, if
Your
you don't,
job is safe.
if you don't deliver it right though,
Yeah.
then
Oh.
your job is over.
I'm
No,
like,
it's not. No,
like
it's not.
Mrs.
You
Kabapo.
report HR, that's it for their career.
Nope.
I've been employed for 3 years now.
It was on
I-
Same company.
I get paid my 40 hours a week now. I don't actually work. Not disability.
I'm on workers' comp.
My knee's got a little bruise, but that's okay.
All right, I'm just gonna end the show right here.
Fantastic, fantastic.
All
All
right.
right, hey,
Cherry.
that is our show.
Whoa.
Capricorn, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you.
Gemini, thank you for coming.
Me so horny.
I believe it.
Mr. Aquarius, thank you for coming. Aquaman.
Cherry. Super cherry.
Super
cherry.
Mr. Cherry, Mrs. Taurus, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And Mrs. Sagittarius.
Miss, not Mrs.
Oh,
Let's
miss.
get that right for the record. And
We said single in the beginning. I'm sure they got it.
you're welcome.
It's a-
No, so
It's
yeah,
a you're welcome.
it's-
All right, well, I appreciate all y'all coming on to the show today or tonight, whatever time you're listening. To the people listening, keep submitting your questions on rawdogshow.com, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Make sure you're specific with your questions too, though.
Yeah.
Situational and shit.
Have
Fuck your
fun
coworker.
editing that mess.
I'm gonna fuck my coworker tonight.